guys, welcome back to the Lycan Project. Today I am going to be doing a fun little tag video to hopefully lift everyone's spirits, or also just it was an interesting thing to got me plotting and pondering on over some of my writing stuff, which is the writing style tag. I saw this over on Rebecca Rodriguez's channel, so I will link her down below. And if you have any other tags that sound fun or interesting or want my opinion on, please let me know on the comments down below. So there are 10 questions, so let's dive right in. The first, sorry, I've got them all here. What writing rule do you break knowing that you need to correct it in revisions? Whew. Passive voice. I have noticed that I am a massive user of passive voice. It is something that I really have to get better at not using in order to strengthen my writing. I also just run on sentences, so like big sentences. Number 2 is what writing rule do you break and don't plan on fixing? I don't plan on fixing. I'm not sure if I don't plan on fixing anything, but if someone tells me that the wording on my sentence is wrong, or they don't like it because it's too flowery, I think purple prose actually, yeah, no, purple prose. I like poetry-esque fluffy writing at times, so yeah, no, I wouldn't plan on fixing my purple prose in any of that. How detailed do you get? What details do you think are important for your narrative? I have 5 senses. Okay, which is the third question. Okay, I noticed when I started with Nano, I was an underwriter, that I just got the bare bones out. I have now gone back to think about it and sort of go through, and as you experience the world, you don't just see the world. Like a sound, a smell, a touch, brings back memories, gives you a sense of feeling. So I try and use at least 2 of the senses in each of the paragraphs that are explaining stuff without overdoing it. So, you know, she saw the wind blowing in the trees and was greeted by the scent of the flowers in the undergrowth. So that, you know, she's smelt something and she's seen something, which I think also helps with the showing not telling thing. So I am getting a lot better at using the 5 senses. I think it establishes a lot more of a realistic position. Do you write flowery, purple prose, or to the point? Both. I find my underwriting, I'm just like A, B, C, D, E, but then when I get into a role and I really fall into a scene, I can become very flowery and dramatic sometimes. I have had it pointed out to me, and you know what, some of my favorite authors do it. It's a style I like. I love words. I think they're luscious and rich, so why would I want to not go away from that? Which is the 4th question. The 5th question is, do your main characters across multiple works and have similar dialogue and have fun banter, interactive, standoffish? Slightly, because I'm quite a snarky person, so I think most of them have a snarky kind of streak to them, bantery. In Rippled Reflections, which is book 1 in my Devil's Bay series, Dom and Rachel are quite tongue-in-cheek, back and forward, bantery. But in my current one, which is going to be the first, one of my other works, there's a bit of, one character is very direct because they're very sure in themselves, and another character is a bit introverted because that's how she is being raised, that she is to be seen and not heard, so she's a bit more reluctant to speak your mind. Question 6 is, do you get voice right on the first? No, I do not get my voice in the book right on the first draft, the 5th draft. No, it's a work in progress. I am fairly new to taking writing seriously, but it is something I'm looking at. I think I'm pretty set in how I want certain aspects to come across, so the voice is right with those, but as a whole, not great. But it is something I'm working on. Question 7, which is, are you better at first or third person, present or past tense? I wrote a short story in second person and just decided that point of view is not something that I'm good at writing. It's also weirdly a point of view that I don't like reading in. I think it's part of the thing of don't like being told what to do or what I'm doing. So it's like, you do this, we've done that. I'm like, no we haven't, I'm just sitting here. First person, I've tried it. I think I stick solidly to sort of third person past tense just because it's easier for me. So yeah, no, I think I'm a third person past tense kind of writer. Okay, this is where it gets fun, which is question 8, which is, do you pre-plan chapters or create chapters as you write? I'm a bit of a planter or a gardener, where I kind of know roughly where I want things to go. I know what points I want to hit in the story and how the main events of the story, but I kind of let the story and the characters, which I always found very strange when people go, my characters aren't doing what I want them to do, until I started writing and realized, no, my characters will not and are not doing what I want them to do. So I kind of do a bit of both. I set out the chapters, roughly how many chapters I want, and I have a rough idea of where they're going, but sometimes they grow and shrink depending on how the story is behaving for me. Number 9 is favourite tropes or ones that you use or plan to use across multiple books. Right. Self, like your self-importance and your self-identity is one that I've used a lot. Water, I know it's not really a trope, but it's an element that comes up a lot in my stories. And I wouldn't say I'm never going to use a trope. Sorry, the plane. I wouldn't say I'm never going to use a trope. There are certain tropes that if I were to use them, I would want to use them very carefully. I would want to use them very respectfully. I would then also get other people to read it in terms of a sensitivity approach, because yeah, I don't want to come across as offensive or reckless. And the third one is, here you go. Are there similar themes, moods, messages or symbols across your book? Yes, there are. There are aspects of them. I being in a queer relationship is something I will stick right in. It's not really a trope or a theme, but it's part of my life. It's part of the diversity I want my child to grow up in the world seeing. So yeah. Death's one that I use a lot. Sort of self-belief. So I think I've tied up the 9th and 10th question together a bit. So yeah, if there are any ideas you have, or if you want to do any of these, I tag you. Please have fun with it, enjoy it. Please like and subscribe, because it will help out my channel and our little pack grow. I'd like to thank you, and let's use our voice to promote positive change in the world. And thank you and goodbye!